The streets of our town had a rhythm I can still hear in my mind. The soft clatter of shoes on cobblestones, the hum of the bus engine winding along Main Road, the occasional bark from Mrs. Humphrey's dog. But the corner of Regent Road held a different magic. There it stood, a red phone box, battered yet proud, its glass misted with condensation and fingerprints. It was more than a relic of another era. It was a portal, a tiny cathedral for voices and secrets, for laughter and mischief. I was 9 when I first discovered the thrill of the phone box. A shiny 10-pence coin clutched in my hand. I would lift the receiver, ready to transform into someone entirely new. It could be the dentist warning of tooth decay, Santa Claus declaring an early Christmas surprise, or even the Prime Minister issuing absurd commands. My auntie, Sharon, was my favorite target. She answered the phone with suspicion, only to be swept into my invented world of voices and chaos. "It's the dentist. You have major tooth decay." I'd stifle a laugh, holding the sound hostage behind my teeth. "Get off the line, you're wasting our time," they would shout, and I would hang up, triumphant. Those moments were tiny sparks of rebellion, little bursts of freedom in a childhood that felt at times too small. And yet, they were also memories of connection, of laughter shared, of creativity, of joy that cost only 10 pence. Years passed, and the red phone box faded from use. Smartphones, emails, and instant messaging replaced the tactile thrill of coins and rotary dials. I grew older. The street corners I once roamed became quieter. The glass of the red box cracked in more places than I cared to count. Life moved on. Jobs, bills, routine, and the quiet ache of absence filled the gaps once occupied by prank calls. Granddad had passed first, leaving a silence in the house that was almost physical. Nana followed soon after, aged 83, leaving only her laugh and the smell of her cooking in memory. Still, nostalgia has a way of tugging at the heart, uninvited but irresistible. And on that day, walking home with a spare 10 pence in my pocket, I noticed the box again. It was battered, weather-beaten, seemingly abandoned. And yet, the bell inside rang. I froze, staring at the red rectangle, my pulse spiking. Surely it was nothing, perhaps a prank, a trick of the mind. But the ringing persisted. Tentatively, I lifted the receiver. A giggle floated through the line. Small, delicate, unmistakable. "Hey there, Spud, it's your Nana. I've found a way to communicate." The world tilted. My knees weakened. My hands shook violently as tears brimmed in my eyes. "Nana," I whispered. "I've got Granddad here," she continued. "Tell your dad I love him. It's a beautiful place up here. Send my love to Sharon. Tell how I no longer have fear. Your granddad sorted a place for us. It reminds me of our old house. Tell Tony I'm watching him. He's been quiet as a mouse." I pressed the receiver to my chest, my tears soaking the cotton of my coat. "Nana, we all miss you. Tell Granddad we miss him too. We talk about you often. We haven't forgotten any of you." There was a silence, tender and vast. "Tina, we have to go now. Granddad's got the kettle on. I'll call you another time. You'll hear me calling the landlines. Tell all the grandkids not to worry. Have a little get-together, go for a nice curry. See you later, kidda. Got to go now." And then the line went dead. I slumped against the side of the box, my mind spinning. My Nana had spoken. My Granddad had spoken. Somehow, impossibly, across time and life itself, they had reached me. As I held the receiver, childhood memories came flooding back. I remembered the thrill of the prank calls, the ingenuity of disguising my voice, the feeling of being clever and unseen. I remembered Nana laughing at my antics, the twinkle in her eyes as she shook her head at my audacity. I remembered the afternoons spent at her kitchen table, 10-pence coins clutched in my hand, plotting my next imaginary conversation. I remembered the smell of rain on the pavement, the clink of coins, the world alive with possibility. And now, Nana had returned, reminding me that magic exists, even in the smallest, simplest forms, and that love persists beyond the boundaries of life and death. That evening, I returned home, still shaken. The house was quiet, but familiar, the worn sofa, Dad's newspaper on the table, Sharon's magazines by the window. I told them what had happened, my voice trembling, my hands clinging to the 10-pence coin. Sharon blinked, unsure if I was serious. "You heard Nana?" she asked slowly. "Yes," I said. "Granddad, too." They spoke to me from the red phone box. Dad shook his head, a mixture of disbelief and wonder in his eyes. "Tina, well, I don't know. But maybe some things don't need explaining." We sat together, the three of us, silent except for the faint ticking of the clock. And in that silence, I realized that the phone box had given me more than a conversation. It had given me a reminder of what truly matters: connection, memory, love, and the joy of little, impossible moments. I still carry that 10-pence coin. It is no longer just a coin. It is a talisman, a reminder that the impossible can happen, that the world holds pockets of magic if you only pay attention. Every time I pass a phone box, I check for a ring. Every time, I hope. Sometimes it is silence. Other times, it is the faint whisper of a laugh, the warmth of a familiar voice, a memory made real again. I have learned to listen carefully, to cherish these moments, to honor the past while embracing the present. And if you ever hear a phone box ringing, I urge you to pick up. You never know. Perhaps it is not a prank, not a trick of fate. Perhaps it is someone waiting to say hello from across time, from across worlds, just like Nana did for me. The red phone box still stands at the corner of Regent Road, a sentinel of stories, a keeper of voices. And sometimes, if you are lucky, it answers.